I do actually believe that every YouTuber and filmmaker should have one of these in their kit bag. Whether you're creating narrative short films or even tech product reviews, a handheld fog machine will really help elevate your productions. And I do have to admit that before I got one, I was quite skeptical, thinking to myself, is it really that good? Is it really going to make that much difference, and is it really going to be worth the money? Well, after having this for a little while now and using it on a bunch of different scenarios, I'm really starting to see the benefits, and I've really been liking the improvements it seems to have made to some of my compositions. But also I can see that using something like this in your shots could get well overused. It's not needed in absolutely everything, so choosing the right mode in the right scene to get the right look and feel is definitely key with using one of these. And this specific one I'm using is the TELESIN C40 portable fog machine. When we receive it, everything comes in this firm storage case. And I have to admit, I'm not that keen on this dark blue colour with a silver zip and black handles. I'd prefer everything to be black to match everything else that's inside, including the inside of the case, which is also black. But anyway, it's a case and it holds everything inside of it. We get the C40 handheld fog machine itself, which weighs 276 grams and made of this black plastic. And as you can see, it fits in our hand quite nicely, and it is designed to be portable, but they have also added a tripod mount on the underside, which is a really nice touch. It has its own internal 2500 mAh battery, which is also charged via the supplied USB-C cable and takes around 2.5 hours to fully charge. We also get one small 60ml bottle of liquid, which is used to create the fog. This tank is where we insert that liquid. We get this plastic cover that goes over the tank, which has the liquid inside of it. We also get a few tubes, from straight ones to bent ones, and also T-shaped tubes, and these are used to help shape and push the fog where we want it. We also get 2 squidgy bits of foam, which helps to slow down and diffuse the fog. So to set it up, all we have to do is add our liquid to the tank and make sure that we close this up so the liquid doesn't spill out. Put the tank on top of the fog machine and then add the plastic cover. Then depending on the type or style of fog we want, we can then add some of those tube accessories if we want to. And that's basically it for setup, but there is one other thing that this specific C40 portable fog machine has. It's like a little secret party trick. If we look at the front where all of the buttons and controls are, we can actually detach this and use it as a remote control for the fog machine. Meaning we can place the actual fog machine into our scenes and control it off camera via this remote, and it works over 10 meters away. So if we want the fog appearing from an awkward place or to start fogging in the middle of our scene, we can literally place it, walk away, and then control it as and when we want the fog to appear with this remote. So options are pretty much endless with this way of working, and personally I'm really pleased that they opted to use this as a detachable remote rather than having some form of app linked to our phone, as this remote option is far easier, quicker, and works flawlessly, and means that we could just hand this off to anyone to control rather than having to give our phone away for someone to use it via an app. So good job with this. But then just as easy as detaching it, we can then just click it back into position, and the whole thing becomes handheld to quickly and easily fog a room or even drop some dry ice into a scene. And that leads me on to the next very cool thing about this specific fog machine, is that it has its own built-in different presets for different fog modes. If we use this button on the bottom left, when we press it, we can start to see that we're highlighting different areas of the screen in blue. And then we can use the plus and minus, and that goes through that section. So on this top section up here, as you can see, we've got the steam mode, fog mode, and the dry ice mode, and also a free mode. And then when I'm going through these, you can see the left and the right of the screen are kind of showing you different levels. And that's because the left hand side here, this is the fog, and the right is the fan speed. So we could go into, say, the free mode. Then we can use that button on the bottom left, go down to the fog section, and increase the amount of fog or decrease the amount of fog. And again, we could press this, go over to the fan speed and increase the fan speed or decrease it and get it to how we want it. And once we're happy, all we have to do is press and hold this button here, and that will start the fog coming out, and then as soon as we let go, it will stop. If we press this button and go down to where it basically says --S, then we can press the plus and minus. This is like a timer. So we can go all the way up to 200 seconds, basically in 5-second intervals. And then that means that when we press this button, it will do the fog for as long as that timer is set for. So we just press it once and it will run down for that time duration we have set, which can be super useful. And it basically means that we don't have to hold it for the entire time. And again, we can change all of these settings with just the remote, as it doesn't have to be attached to the actual fog machine. So if that's in shot somewhere, we can still control all of the different modes and settings via that remote. So yes, all of these different modes and level controls along with the different attachments means this handheld fog machine is super versatile, allowing us to get the exact look, feel and style we want. Along with that detachable remote means that we can put it almost anywhere and is super easy to use and control. But like I said at the very beginning, using something like this could be well overused and ruin some shots and scenes. Like, nobody needs a full load of thick fog in every scene. But a nice bit of subtle hazing in the background to add some light rays through a scene, or a bit of dramatic atmosphere for some product shots, really helps to elevate your work. Gosh, I've like completely filled this room. But one thing to point out is the fact that it does make quite a lot of audible noise, especially if you're maxing out the fog and the fan speed. So if you're using it in a scene, maybe for a short film, and it's actually going to be in shot, and you want the fog to appear at a certain time, the noise it makes is quite audible. As you can see, or I should say as you can hear, it does quite a lot of like crackling, and you can really hear the fan kicking out, but here's a good example of how much comes out of it. But if I now change it to say free mode, where I've reduced the amount of fog and reduced the actual fan speed of how much is coming out, so only a subtle bit of fog is going to come out, it is quite a lot quieter, but obviously a lot less comes out. So I probably would avoid using it in the middle of a scene if we're going to be using audio. But if you're not going to be using audio, maybe for like a music video, or if you're just going to be doing your sound after, then using it in a scene won't matter because the audio won't matter. So for the price of around 120 to 150, depending on if you get it on offer or not, I do think that the TELESIN C40 portable fog machine is a great piece of kit, and something I'd definitely be using when the time is right in all of my future videos. And I would love to know, what do you think of this portable fog machine? Are you interested in getting one? If so, what is the first thing you'd want to film with one of these? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you are interested in picking one of these up for yourself, I'll add a link in the description down below. And thank you so much for watching until the very end of this video. If you have found this video interesting and informative, a like would be really appreciated. And if you're not already, a subscribe would be awesome as well. And I can't wait to see you back here again very, very soon.